Today, we're diving into the personal journal of a government agent. And let me tell you, it's a gripping story. We're talking conspiracy, betrayal, and this desperate, high-stakes race for the truth. This is the story of how an agent's world gets turned completely upside down, where the line between friend and foe just vanishes. So let's trace her steps.
So here's the question at the heart of it all. What do you do when the very people you work for become the enemy? It is a spy's absolute worst nightmare, and for Agent Paula Becker, it becomes this impossible choice when she stumbles onto a plot that goes all the way to the top.
All right, so let's meet our protagonist, Paula. She's an undercover agent, and her cover is pretty clever. She's part of a traveling acting troupe. But lately, her routine surveillance work has started to feel off. There's this persistent, unnerving presence she just can't seem to shake.
Picture this, a dark country road in Maryland. Paula's on her way to investigate a cult, but her training is screaming that something is wrong. The same set of headlights that were behind her when she left the hotel? Yep, they're still there. She's being tailed, no doubt about it. So she pulls into an empty lot to force a confrontation. And who gets out of the car? Not some enemy agent. It's McCracken, one of the actors from her own troupe.
And if that wasn't weird enough, later that night, she finds him waiting for her right outside her hotel room. His excuse? He says he was just worried that she's been distracted, disappearing all the time. He even offers her money, which feels less like genuine concern and way more like some kind of test. Paula does not buy it for a second. The whole thing is just tense and awkward, and it's a huge red flag that something is seriously wrong.
So the paranoia is already setting in, right? Well, her next mission in Portland is about to crank it up to 11. Her objective sounds simple enough. Meet an informant, codenamed X, who's supposedly part of a terrorist cell. But this meeting is not what it seems. In fact, it's about to completely shatter her entire reality.
Paula meets X at a fountain in a park, and it turns out X isn't some hardened terrorist. She's a frightened young woman, and she just drops this absolute bombshell. Her group isn't a terror cell at all. They're former agents, just like Paula, and they're trying to expose a massive plot from inside the U.S. government. They specifically chose Paula because they did their homework, and they're betting she's the one person with the integrity to actually do something about it.
And the plan she reveals? It's just staggering. The president is planning to use a manufactured crisis to declare martial law, round up all his political opponents, and basically suspend democracy forever. This isn't some external threat, it's a full-blown coup orchestrated from the Oval Office itself.
And then X gives Paula one last, chilling warning. Her agency-issued phone is a listening device. They can hear everything she says. Just by knowing this truth, Paula's life is now in immediate mortal danger. From this moment on, she has a target on her back.
And that danger? It's not some abstract threat. It becomes terrifyingly real just moments later. The informant's wild story gets confirmed in the most violent way you can imagine, and Paula's status instantly flips from agent to target. And you want to know how fast it all unravels? In a desperate move to save Paula, X shoves her into the fountain to create a diversion and runs. Just moments later, two men in suits corner X and shoot her dead. Paula has no choice but to call in a completely fake story to her bosses. And the very next day, the agency sends in military units to hunt for a terrorist cell they know for a fact does not exist. It's a massive, deadly cover-up, and now Paula's trapped inside of it.
For 5 years, Paula truly believed she was one of the good guys. And now, in an instant, she understands the terrifying truth. The mission was a lie, her own agency is in on it, and she's not the hunter anymore. She is the hunted.
So what do? You're completely alone, hunted by your own people. Paula realizes she needs help, she needs an accomplice, and her only real option is the one person she was so sure was a threat to begin with.
She confronts McCracken, the guy she's been avoiding, and he finally tells her the truth. The reason he's been so secretive isn't because he's a threat, it's because he's been traumatized. Years ago, he was framed by the Navy, took the fall for a superior's mistake to stop a war with Iran, and spent 5 years in a military prison for it. If anyone understands being betrayed by the system you swore to protect,
It's him.
So when Paula lays out the whole insane conspiracy, McCracken doesn't even flinch. His response pretty much cements this powerful, if totally unlikely, new alliance. He is 100% in.
Okay, so now they're a team, and their new mission is crystal clear. Get to Chicago. That's where they can find the evidence they need to expose this entire thing. This is it. This is their one shot to stop the coup.
So what's so special about Chicago? Well, before she died, X gave Paula a final piece of intel. A key and a safety deposit box would be waiting for her at a BMO Harris Bank. Inside that box is everything they need, the hard, undeniable proof that can bring the whole conspiracy crashing down.
So they get the evidence, and the escape is on. And this is where we see some serious spycraft. They pull off this brilliant, multi-step plan with split-second timing. Paula gets the package, but then she's spotted by an agency colleague in her hotel lobby. Thinking fast, she walks right up to McCracken, grabs him, and kisses him, using that moment to secretly slip the package into his pocket. Genius! Then she ditches her tracked phone in a random Uber and uses an untraceable credit card to charter a flight to London. It's just a masterclass in staying cool under pressure.
But they're not out of the woods yet. They know agents will be waiting for them when they land at Heathrow. So they pull off one last incredible deception. Another actor from their troupe fakes a massive heart attack on the plane, forcing an emergency diversion. All that chaos lets Paula get whisked away to a hospital, completely bypassing the trap that was set for her at the airport.
And it works. The plan actually works. At the hospital, Paula meets her MI5 contact and hands over the evidence. The truth is finally out. And the fallout? It's immediate, and it is huge.
The geopolitical dominoes just start falling instantly. While the U.S. government is busy issuing warrants for Paula's arrest on treason charges, it's already too late. The British Prime Minister shares the evidence with EU leaders, and the story just explodes across European news. In a desperate, angry move, the U.S. president declares a trade war, slapping massive tariffs on European goods.
Meanwhile, back in the States, the conspiracy just implodes under the bright light of the truth. Politicians are scrambling, denying they knew anything. But the real turning point comes when members of the National Guard start speaking out, refusing to take part in a plan to suppress their own citizens. Once the enforcers refuse to enforce, it's over. The plot is dead in 10 days.
So what happens to our heroes? Well, they could never go back to the country they just saved. Paula, McCracken, and the whole acting troupe become these unlikely celebrities in exile. They're celebrated all across Europe as the heroes who saved American democracy. They keep on touring, playing to sold-out theaters, now famous for a real-life drama that was way more intense than anything they ever put on stage.
So, Paula saved her country, but she can never go home. Her journal ends on this one final, really interesting thought. McCracken has an idea. He thinks they should open their own detective agency. She admits she misses the thrill of the spy game, and as she writes, doing it with him, well, that might just be fun.